Okay, we are live with Gillian from Curtis, Ontario.
Hi,
How you doing, Gillian?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
And this is a segment we call The Nuns Around the World. You're getting to be a world traveler, so I thought it'd be perfect to talk with you. A bit of a background from you. Tell me where you grew up, what your religious upbringing was like, and about the day when you decided you were going to be an atheist.
Okay,
Go.
so I grew up in Curtis, Ontario, which is just a small suburban town just outside of Toronto, just near like Bonneville area. Um, I don't have a religion, obviously, but how I became affiliated with atheism is I have a godfather or an uncle. He is an atheist. Um, and I remember I was thinking about this the other day, that I was like, there's something, like, nature is God. I remember thinking that when I was younger, when I was, like, really into getting into the environment and stuff. But one day I was at a family party, and one of the adults, I was probably, like, 18, one of the adults mentioned that my Uncle John was an atheist. And I said, well, what's an atheist? They said, well, they don't believe in God. And I was like, well, that's me. So that was pretty much my realization. And then I didn't get too much into the major atheist pages until my second year of college, where I started really kind of getting more involved in it and getting more of an opinion. And
So how much religious exposure would you have had up until this point in your life?
my mom works for a Catholic school, and she tried to get me to go to Catholic high school, but she chose not to. I read like the small red Bible you get, I guess, when you're in elementary school. Like, I read some of it when I was younger, but I never went to church. My Nana prayed, she prayed before bed, and that was something. But it was just the normal, typical, maybe, peer influence, not necessarily me going out and looking for it.
All right. That little red book, was that just the Old Testament or the New
I think
Testament?
so. I remember it being talking about John.
Right.
I don't know. It was very confusing and very, it didn't make any sense to me. Like, laying in bed and just being like, there is someone watching me right now. That makes no sense. Why? Why me? I don't know.
So was your uncle the only atheist that you knew growing up that you're aware of?
Yeah, like, my family's never been religious, and like, some of them wouldn't say, "Oh, I'm an atheist," but yeah, they basically don't believe in God. I've never, um,
Just doesn't really come up.
yeah, it doesn't. Like, unless we're there to like kind of joke about it or something. No, faith isn't something that my family holds for sure.
But then you've traveled.
Yeah, so I've gone certain places. Like, I worked in Saskatchewan for a certain company, and I had my crew leader was Roman Catholic, and when I told him I was an atheist, I don't think he liked me anymore after that. I was also very outspoken, but and then I went to Mississippi last summer, and I was very nervous about going down there, because I'm just like totally the opposite of what you would see as what would be in Mississippi, super religious and homophobic, all that kind of stuff. So it was kind of nerve-wracking, but I really wanted to go. So I went, and I ended up, through one of my Twitter account, Heather Heathen, I ended up finding um, a group of atheists down there, and they're just a community that lives at Mississippi State University in Starkville, Mississippi, and they're a wonderful group of people. They have an Ask an Atheist Day. They definitely have all dealt with hard family, like, hardships with their family with coming out as an atheist, or half of them can't come out can't come out at all, or some of them can't even come out as being gay, like that kind of stuff. It's nice that they have a little community. It kind of makes me envious, and I miss them a lot.
So it was a really good support group.
Yeah, it was amazing. They meet every week, and they invite theists, and they invite everyone to come if they have questions. And it's like they have a coffee with a they do a I guess a group down there has coffee with a Christian. So you go to these things, and I think a lot of the group goes. So they started doing coffee with an atheist, where they have people or invite people to come and ask questions, and they also like have topics they'll do every week. They'll like pick a topic or whatever, skepticism, and then they'll discuss it, or they'll just go out for beers. Like in the summer, they didn't really have any formal meetings. They were all just beer meetings, and we just like talk about whatever. And
so during this whole time in these different locales, you mentioned earlier that you were outspoken.
Yeah.
Were there any times in any of your travels out west or down south where you held your tongue, or you thought maybe this?
I probably should have, especially for my crew leader, because he certainly did not like me after that. He also wasn't a very good crew leader.
So different reactions that you noticed in different locales, or?
Oh yeah, the reactions are just, you know, because I don't say, you know, I say atheist because I'm not afraid. I don't think I should be afraid. I don't think the word atheist should be a bad thing, and I always get this from my friends still, that atheism is seen as something negative. You know, baby eaters. I don't know, but I don't. When I was in Mississippi, I didn't. Like when I first mentioned it to my supervisor and two other girls that were grad students, they were kind of like, oh, because I think one of them was quite religious. But yeah, I saw like an Alabama A or for the team, and I was like, whoa, no way, thinking it's a Richard Dawkins out A, and I was like, no way, like so excited, and I was like, oh, never mind, and they're like, what? And then I basically had to out myself then. It's like, I'm an atheist. I thought it was an A for atheism. And then I didn't really get anything else after that, and I never really, like, I had a lot of discussions. There was quite a few people down there that were atheists, but wouldn't be like, I'm an atheist, but they were. And we had a lot of discussions. You know, one of the guys I hung out with had the FSM Bible, or like the Bible book or something like that. That was funny.
Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Flying Spaghetti Monsters, like all like Bible. I forget what it was called. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Where heaven is a bunch of hookers and beer fountains.
So is that something that can be displayed, or did that stand out?
It definitely stood out, especially with what's going on down there right now.
Well, how many people would be in this support group down in the States?
There's about 100, and I mean that's just for the state. That's just for the university. I'm also on another group down there, the Mississippi Atheist Experience group. There's about 350 members from all over Mississippi, and some of them, you know, post and they talk about the things that their family says. There was one guy recently that posted saying that he got like a really good raise on his job, and he's so excited, but he can't say anything to his family because all they'll do is say, "God, isn't God great? Isn't God great?" And he's like, I did this. Like God did nothing. Like,
yeah.
So it's just frustrating for them, and they rather bite their tongue than. Obviously, there's, you know, pick your battles or whatever, but you can see that it gets really difficult for them.
So would there be any place where you wouldn't wear your Christopher Hitchens T-shirt, or?
Yeah, definitely wouldn't want to wear that down there. I didn't bring any of my atheist flag with me because I was like, probably not the best idea.
Oh.
I didn't know what I'd be getting into, so I didn't know anyone going down, and so it's pretty amazing that I met, you know, that group of atheists. I don't think I probably wouldn't have met them if it wasn't for my Twitter.
Really?
And this guy, Neil Carter, if anyone wants to look him up, he's well known. He has a blog called Godless in Dixie. He posted a lot of stuff about what's going on down there and how, you know, certain experiences that he has.
Oh, very good. Well, I know you're ready to get to your next locale, which is where?
Which is Thunder Bay and then Churchill. And there's no one up there that I think is going to be, like, super religious.